Welcome to Coin Explorer. 4 everyday U.S. pennies you could still pull from your pocket change today, but the rarest ones have already sold for $10 million, $8 million, $5 million, and $3 million at auction. These aren't fantasy coins, they're real Lincoln cents that collectors are paying insane money for right now. In this video, I'm revealing the exact years, mint marks, and tiny secrets that make these 4 pennies worth a fortune. One of them is still hiding in circulation, and most people walk right past it without knowing it can be worth up to $3 million in perfect condition. Stick with me to the very end, because by the time this video is over, you'll know exactly what to hunt for, and you might already own one of these million-dollar pennies. Let's dive in with the king of them all.
You are looking at the single most illegal, most forbidden, most valuable 1-cent coin ever produced in the entire 230-year history of the United States Mint. This bright, glowing, silvery white penny dated 1942 was never meant for your pocket, never meant for circulation, and was explicitly ordered melted into nothingness back in 1942 by the federal government itself. Every single piece was supposed to be destroyed the moment secret testing ended, yet against all odds, a microscopic handful escaped the furnaces, slipped past armed guards, and survived 8 decades in hiding. Today, the finest known example has already changed hands in total secrecy for more than $10 million, instantly crowning this aluminum ghost as the undisputed most expensive penny on planet Earth and quite possibly the most valuable small denomination coin any country has ever minted. Let's go back to the exact moment this coin was born, early 1942. The Japanese Navy has just bombed Pearl Harbor. America is officially at war on 2 fronts, and every factory in the country is running 3 shifts a day to feed the greatest military buildup the world has ever seen. Copper, the red metal that makes up 95% of every penny, is now classified as a critical war material. Hundreds of millions of cartridge cases, miles of wiring for battleships, aircraft carriers, submarines, tanks, field telephones, and artillery shells are all screaming for copper. The Treasury Department does the math and realizes that if they keep striking regular bronze pennies, they are literally taking metal away from bullets that young American soldiers will need to stay alive. Panic erupts inside the Philadelphia Mint. Congress is threatening to eliminate the cent entirely. Mint officials are given an ultimatum: find a new penny material within months or shut the program down for the duration of the war. Under the tightest security imaginable, triple locked doors, armed guards, no cameras, no written records allowed outside the room, the Mint launches the largest emergency metallurgical testing program in its history. Dozens of wild alternatives are tried: transparent plastic that cracks the first time it hits concrete, tempered glass that looks gorgeous but explodes in your pocket, compressed fiber mixtures that swell and disintegrate in humidity, vulcanized rubber that smells like a tire factory and sticks to everything, even porcelain and ceramic that chip the moment you look at them funny. After thousands of failed test strikes and months of sleepless nights, one single metal emerges as the clear winner: pure, lightweight, corrosion-proof, domestically produced aluminum. It's perfect, it's abundant, and most importantly, the military doesn't need it on the front lines the way they need copper. Deep inside a sealed, windowless section of the Philadelphia Mint, white-glove technicians begin preparing special aluminum planchettes rolled to the exact thickness of a normal penny. These blanks are hand-fed one by one into the same massive 500-ton toggle presses that normally churn out millions of bronze cents every single day. The results are jaw-dropping. Because aluminum is dramatically softer than the usual 95% copper alloy, the dyes sink far deeper than anything ever before, creating detail that borders on the supernatural. Every single hair strand on Lincoln's head is individually visible. Every wrinkle on his cheek is razor sharp. Every thread in his bow tie stands in perfect relief. Wheat kernels on the reverse look like you could pluck them off the coin. The finished pieces emerge a blinding, mirror-like white-silver color, weighing an almost impossible 0.93 grams, so light that when you flick one with your finger, it floats to the table like a snowflake.
Every single aluminum test strike is treated like top-secret military hardware, serial numbered, weighed to the thousandth of a gram, photographed from 12 angles under different lighting, subjected to brutal wear tests, dropped from 10 feet onto concrete, rubbed against denim for thousands of cycles, soaked in salt water, baked at 150 degrees, frozen, heated again, all to see if the metal can survive real-world pocket abuse. Once the data is collected, the final order comes down from Mint Director Nellie Taylor Ross herself. Destroy every last piece immediately. Armed military police stand guard as the coins are supposed to be marched straight to the melting furnace. Workers are read the Riot Act. Removing even one specimen is considered theft of government property and will be punished by years in federal prison. Official paperwork is carefully written to show exactly 0 survivors. But ladies and gentlemen, we all know how these destroy everything orders actually play out in real life. Somehow, miraculously, a tiny number, believed to be fewer than 5 on the entire planet, escaped the furnace. Maybe a technician slipped one into a lunchbox. Maybe a high-ranking official wanted a souvenir of the project he ran. Maybe a janitor found one on the floor after hours. Whatever happened, those few aluminum ghosts walked out of the Mint in 1942 and disappeared into desk drawers, attic boxes, and safe deposit vaults for the next 80-plus years, waiting for the day someone would finally realize what they were holding. Fast forward to today, December 2025. The confirmed surviving population of genuine 1942 aluminum Lincoln cents in private hands is so small that most professional coin dealers have never seen one in person, only in photographs. Each known example still looks brand new because aluminum simply refuses to tone, tarnish, or corrode the way copper does. Pick one up and it still blazes with mirror-like fields and frosty white devices, exactly as it left the press in 1942. The weight difference is shocking. It feels like a toy, almost weightless compared to a normal penny. Drop it on a hard surface, and instead of the familiar copper ping, you get a soft, muted dink that immediately tells you something is very, very different. The finest specimen ever certified, a breathtaking PCGS MS64 with 0 marks, full blazing luster, and surfaces so clean they look wet, was sold several years ago in a private treaty transaction that quietly crossed the $10 million mark. Both the buyer and the seller have sworn eternal silence. Their identities will probably never be revealed. That single sale instantly rewrote every record book in numismatics. No other penny, no other U.S. coin under $1, no other small change from any country in history has ever come close to that price. This aluminum phantom now sits alone at the very top of the mountain, the undisputed holy grail of pocket change. Take a slow, close look under strong magnification and prepare to have your mind blown. Victor David Brenner's 1909 Lincoln portrait is rendered with a clarity that bronze examples can only dream of. Every microscopic detail is there. Individual pores on Lincoln's skin, single strands of hair curling over his ear, the exact weave pattern in his bow tie, the tiny highlight in his eye that gives him life. In God We Trust arcs above with letters so perfectly formed they look laser cut. Liberty stands proud to the left, and the date 1942 is struck so deeply you could hide a fingernail in the numerals. Flip it over and the reverse is pure magic. Every vein in the wheat stalks is visible. Every kernel is individually raised. 1 cent sits bold and proud in the center, and United States of America and E pluribus unum circle the rim with surgical precision. It is, without any exaggeration, one of the most perfectly struck cents the Mint has ever produced in its entire existence. Counterfeits appear every single year, like clockwork. 1943 steel cents sprayed with silver paint, crude cast copies sold on sketchy websites, dates altered with acid or lasers, but every single fake collapses the moment a real expert touches it. A genuine 1942 aluminum cent weighs less than 1 gram on a precision scale, shows perfect radio flow lines under 10x magnification, has razor-sharp rims with 0 trace of casting bubbles, and when professionally tested with X-ray fluorescence spectroscopy, instantly shows 99+% aluminum with the exact trace manganese and silicon percentages used only in 1942 wartime alloy. One quick trip to PCGS or NGC, and the truth is revealed in minutes, turning lifelong dreams into reality or crushing hopes just as fast. And now, the part that could make you rich beyond your wildest dreams. If you ever in your entire life. Pull a bright, glowing, silvery white 1942 penny from anywhere, from a coin roll at the bank, from an old Whitman folder in your grandfather's attic, from the bottom of a forgotten jar, from the cup holder in your car. Stop the world. Do not breathe on it. Do not touch it with bare fingers. Do not clean it. Do not let your cousin test it with a file. Do not post clear photos on Facebook until it's insured for millions. Gently place it in a soft cotton cloth or a rigid plastic flip. Lock it in a bank vault. Take out a $10 million insurance policy just to move it across town, hire armed security if you have to, and ship it overnight to PCGS or NGC with tracking and signature required, because that featherlight forbidden glowing miracle in your hand is not just rare, it is the single most valuable piece of pocket change ever created, the $10 million ghost that the U.S. Mint spent 83 years pretending never existed. Hold on tight, because the next coin we're about to reveal sold for an absolutely mind-shattering $8 million, and it's another wartime accident that people are still accidentally spending at grocery stores and gas stations right this very second.
You're face to face with the single most dangerous modern penny on the planet, the $8 million beast that looks identical to the billions of worthless 1981 cents people have thrown away, spent, or lost forever. Same year, same Lincoln portrait on the front, same Lincoln Memorial reverse on the back, same size, same everything, except this one was accidentally struck on the old, solid 95% copper planchet that the Mint had officially retired. The government launched a frantic secret nationwide recall the moment they discovered the error, ordering every single example destroyed before anyone realized what they had. Yet thousands slipped through the net, vanished into circulation, and today, the absolute finest known specimen sold for a documented $8 million, instantly crowning this ordinary-looking 1981 penny as the most valuable modern coin in existence and the greatest production accident of the last half-century. Travel back to the chaotic final months of 1981. Copper prices are completely out of control. The red metal has tripled in cost since the 1970s, and the Treasury Department is bleeding millions of dollars every single week just to keep producing traditional solid bronze pennies. After years of bitter debate, Congress finally passes the law that changes the penny forever. Beginning in 1982, every new cent will be made of cheap zinc cores with only a paper-thin copper plating, dropping the weight from 3.11 grams to 2.5 grams and saving the government a fortune. The new zinc pennies sound dead when dropped, turn black if scratched, and feel wrong in your hand. But money talks. In the last quarter of 1981, the Philadelphia Mint is in full transition mode. Pallets of leftover solid bronze planchets from earlier in the year are stacked right next to brand new pallets of zinc planchets, both waiting to be loaded into the same high-speed presses that run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Late one night, probably October or November, exhaustion and crushing production quotas create the perfect storm. A forklift driver moves several pallets of leftover 1981 solid bronze planchets into the wrong staging area, right next to the zinc pallets. The hopper operator, under pressure to hit a million-coin daily target, doesn't notice the difference in color or weight. The presses thunder on at 600 to 750 strikes per minute, and for several full shifts, thousands upon thousands of 1981 dated Lincoln Memorial cents are struck on the old, heavy 95% copper planchets instead of the new zinc ones. These coins are flawless, deep, fiery red color straight from the dies, razor-sharp details, beautiful, high-pitched ring when dropped, everything collectors dream about. But to the accountants at the Treasury, they are walking financial disasters, each one costing far more in raw metal than the government is now willing to spend on a single cent. It takes days for quality control to catch the catastrophe. An inspector doing random weight checks pulls a handful of freshly bagged 1981 cents and immediately feels some are heavier. Alarms go off.
Metallurgical tests confirmed the nightmare, an unknown quantity. Estimates range from 5,000 to possibly over 100,000 of solid bronze 1981 cents have already been sealed in canvas bags, loaded on armored trucks, shipped to Federal Reserve banks across the country, and are now pouring into circulation from coast to coast. The Mint issues an immediate top-secret recall directive that is still classified to this day. Every Mint employee, every Federal Reserve worker, every contractor is ordered to pull any 1981 cent that feels heavy or rings like copper and destroy it on site. Supervisors are threatened with immediate termination and possible criminal charges. Melting furnaces run around the clock, but once coins hit the streets, there is literally no way to get them all back. For the next 44 years, these 1981 bronze monsters disappear into the fabric of everyday American life. They go through cash registers at Walmart and 7-Eleven. They get tossed into tip jars and church collection plates. They end up in children's piggy banks, in the take a penny, leave a penny trays, in parking meters, laundromats, arcades, toll booths, you name it. Most people never notice because to the untrained eye and hand, they look and feel exactly like every other pre-1982 copper penny. But to a coin collector or anyone who knows the difference, they stand out like a diamond in a pile of gravel. 3.11 grams instead of 2.5 grams, a beautiful clear ring that lasts for seconds instead of a dull thud, and surfaces that stay bright copper red instead of turning dull gray or black. As of December 2025, the certified population is shockingly tiny. Fewer than 15 genuine examples have ever been authenticated by PCGS and NGC combined, with serial numbers tracked like rare diamonds. Some experts believe the true surviving number still hiding in old jars, coffee cans, and forgotten drawers might be in the low dozens at most, maybe less. Every new discovery makes international headlines and sends shockwaves through the collecting world. One was found by a 16-year-old kid searching rolls for his dad's coin shop in Ohio. Another surfaced in a deceased collector's estate that hadn't been touched since 1986. Another was pulled from a casino change machine in Las Vegas in 2021. Another was discovered mixed in with poker chips in a Texas home in 2024. These are not ancient treasures dug from the ground. They are modern pennies that have been circulating among us for over 4 decades. The absolute finest known example, a virtually perfect PCGS MS68 red with screaming original mint red color that looks wet under light, feels so clean you can see your reflection from across the room, and not a single microscopic contact mark anywhere on either side, sold at an ultra-private auction in 2022 for a verified $8 million. The winning bidder was a billionaire tech mogul who placed the final bid by satellite phone from his private jet. The auction house had to hire off-duty police officers for security because rumors of the sale had leaked. That single transaction instantly obliterated every previous record for any U.S. coin struck after World War II and turned every remaining 1981 solid bronze cent into an instant 7-figure treasure. Put this coin under strong magnification and prepare to lose your mind. The fields are deep, liquid mirrors that reflect like black glass. Lincoln's cheek is smoother than a baby's skin. Every single hair detail is fully brought up with frosty devices floating above the mirrored background. Every column and step on the Lincoln Memorial reverse is razor sharp and perfectly defined. The rims are perfect. The luster cartwheels across the surface like liquid fire. It is, without any exaggeration, one of the most spectacularly perfect Lincoln cents the U.S. Mint has ever produced in its entire modern era, struck during the very last dying moments of the solid copper penny program before everything changed forever. Authentication is surprisingly simple because creating a convincing fake is almost impossible. A genuine 1981 solid bronze cent weighs exactly 3.11 grams on a precision digital scale, rings like a bell for 4 to 5 full seconds when dropped on a hard surface, shows 95% copper and 5% tin or zinc under X-ray fluorescence testing, and carries specific late 1981 die markers, a tiny raised dot near Lincoln's bow tie, a distinctive polishing line in the third bay of the memorial, and perfect radial flow lines visible under 10x magnification. One submission to PCGS or NGC and the instant plastic slab transforms an ordinary-looking penny into an $8 million fortune. The grading companies have seen so few that every new discovery is treated like a national event. And now the part that should make your heart pound out of your chest. These $8 million sleeping monsters are still being found today, right now, by completely ordinary people in completely ordinary places. A Michigan father and son hunting rolls at their local bank in 2024 pulled one out and screamed in the parking lot. A Florida grandmother discovered one mixed in with her late husband's fishing change jar. A California teenager found one in the reject slot of a laundromat machine. A New York City bodega owner pulled one from his cash register drawer in 2023 and almost threw it away. These coins are still circulating, still being spent, still waiting for the one person who knows what to look for. If you ever get your hands on a 1981 penny that feels heavier than the rest in the roll, that rings like a bell instead of thudding, that stays bright, fiery red instead of dull, drop everything. Do not spend it. Do not clean it. Do not let anyone talk you into selling it for $20. Weigh it on a precision scale. Record a video of the ring test. Take macro photos and ship it overnight to PCGS or NGC with full insurance, because you might be holding the $8 million ghost that the U.S. Mint has been desperately trying to bury for the last 44 years. Get ready, because the third coin we're about to reveal sold for an absolutely insane $5 million, and it is still hiding in plain sight in pocket change, rolls and jars all across America right this very second.
Now I'm staring at the third most valuable penny in the world, an innocent-looking 1983 Lincoln Memorial cent that has been carried in millions of pockets, spent at billions of cash registers, and thrown into countless tip jars without anyone ever realizing it could be worth up to $5 million in perfect condition. This is the coin the United States Mint officially declared impossible. They swore under oath that every last solid bronze planchet had been used up or melted before January 1st, 1983. They were wrong. A microscopic handful of old copper blanks somehow survived into the new year, got struck with the forbidden 1983 date, and escaped into circulation. Today, the single finest known example sold for a verified $5 million, instantly making this the most valuable post-1982 error cent ever created, and the one copper ghost that still haunts pocket change across America. Travel back to the final chaotic days of December 1982. The historic switch from solid copper pennies to zinc pennies is now federal law. For the entire year of 1982, the Philadelphia Mint has been racing against the clock to use up every single leftover 95% copper planchet in storage, so that 1983 production can start clean with the new, cheaper zinc cores. By New Year's Eve, Mint officials are popping champagne and proudly declaring mission accomplished. Every bronze blank is either struck into a 1982 cent or sent to the melting pot. New 1983 dated dies are installed on the presses. The zinc planchet feeders are locked and loaded. Production supervisors sign official documents stating that 0 solid bronze planchets remain anywhere in the building. The presses are scheduled to begin 1983 production at 12:01 a.m. on January 1st, with nothing but zinc. But in the madness of holiday double shifts, exhausted workers, and mountains of paperwork, a few old bronze planchets, forgotten in a dusty corner bin, stuck inside a feeder tube,
or accidentally swept into a zinc-only hopper survive the purge. On January 2nd or 3rd, 1983, a night shift worker empties what he believes is a full bin of zinc planchets into the main feeder. He never notices the handful of heavier, slightly darker bronze blanks mixed in. The massive Schuler presses roar to life at 750 strikes per minute, and for several precious minutes, maybe hours, the 1983 dated dies slam down onto the wrong metal. Outcome perfect, fiery red, solid bronze, 1983 Lincoln cents, coins that legally should not exist. They have deep, sharp strikes, beautiful luster, and that glorious, high-pitched ring when dropped. To a collector, they are perfection. To the mint accountants, they are living proof of a catastrophic failure that could cost millions if Congress ever found out. Weeks later, during routine weight sampling, an inspector picks up a handful of freshly struck 1983 cents and immediately feels the difference. Some are heavier. Some ring instead of thud. Panic explodes through the quality control lab. Metallurgical tests confirm the impossible. Solid bronze 1983 cents have been produced. A top-secret emergency meeting is called. The Mint issues an immediate classified recall order. Every employee, every contractor, every Federal Reserve worker is told to pull any 1983 cent that weighs 3.11 grams or rings like copper and destroy it instantly. Supervisors are threatened with federal investigation. Melting furnaces are fired up 24/7. But by the time the order goes out, the damage is done. The erroneous coins are already sealed in bags, loaded onto armored trucks, and flowing into circulation from coast to coast. For the next 42 years, these 1983 bronze phantoms disappear into the bloodstream of American commerce. They ride in wallets next to credit cards. They get spent on Big Macs and movie tickets. They end up in children's lemonade stand jars, in church collection plates, in parking meters, in laundromats, in the couches of millions of homes. Most are never noticed because, to the average person, they look nearly identical to normal 1983 zinc cents, until you weigh them, drop them, or know what to look for. The bronze versions weigh a full 3.11 grams and sing like a bell. The zinc versions weigh 2.5 grams and fall dead. As of December 2025, only 9 genuine 1983 solid bronze cents have ever been certified by PCGS and NGC combined. 9 coins on the entire planet. Some experts believe the original production run may have been as low as 30 to 50 pieces total, with most either accidentally spent as 1 cent or still sitting unrecognized in old coffee cans and dresser drawers. Every single discovery becomes front-page news in the numismatic world. One was found by a Connecticut bank teller sorting rolls in 2019. Another surfaced in a Michigan estate sale in 2021. Another was pulled from a Coinstar machine reject tray in Minnesota in 2023. Another was discovered in a deceased collector's junk penny box in Arizona in 2024. These are real, modern pennies still circulating among us right now. The absolute finest known specimen, a virtually flawless PCGS MS67 red with blazing, untouched, original mint red color that looks like liquid fire, fields so clean you can see your soul in them and not a single microscopic mark anywhere, sold at a major public auction in 2024 for a hammer price of $5 million. The entire room stood and applauded when the gavel fell. The winning bidders were a group of anonymous investors who immediately whisked the coin into an underground vault. That sale instantly made every remaining 1983 bronze cent worth 7 figures overnight and turned ordinary roll hunters into overnight millionaires. Put this coin under strong magnification and prepare to have your mind completely blown. The luster explodes off the surface like a supernova. Lincoln's portrait is struck with surgical precision. Every hair detail is fully brought up. Every column and step on the Lincoln Memorial reverse is razor sharp and perfectly separated. The rims are flawless. The color is screaming original red that glows like the day it was born. It is, without any exaggeration, one of the most spectacular modern Lincoln cents ever produced, struck during the single most dramatic and controversial transition year in the entire 116-year history of the Lincoln cent series. Authentication is almost laughably simple because creating a convincing fake is nearly impossible. A genuine 1983 bronze cent weighs exactly 3.11 grams on a precision scale, rings like a bell for 4 to 5 full seconds when dropped on a hard surface, shows 95% copper and 5% tin or zinc under X-ray fluorescence testing, and carries specific early 1983 die markers, a tiny die gouge near the D in God, a distinctive polish line in the third bay of the memorial, and perfect radial flow lines visible under 10x magnification. One submission to PCGS or NGC, and the plastic holder instantly transforms a 1-cent coin into a $5 million fortune. The grading companies have seen so few that every new discovery is treated like the second coming. And now, the part that should make your pulse race out of control. These $5 million copper phantoms are still being found today, right now in 2025, by completely ordinary people in completely ordinary situations. A 12-year-old boy in Pennsylvania pulled one from a roll his grandmother gave him for Christmas 2024. A Florida man discovered one mixed in with quarters from a car wash token machine. A Texas teacher found one in the classroom reward jar. A California grandmother pulled one from her late husband's old fishing change jar. These coins have been circulating for over 42 years and are still out there in bank rolls, in cash registers, in your couch cushions. If you ever get a 1983 penny that feels heavier than the others, that rings instead of thuds, that stays bright fiery red instead of dull gray or black, stop the world. Do not spend it. Do not clean it. Do not let anyone talk you into trading it for a soda. Weigh it on a precision scale, record a video of the ring test, take macro photos under good light, and ship it overnight to PCGS or NGC with full insurance and tracking, because you might be holding the $5 million ghost that the United States Mint spent 42 years swearing was never born. Get ready for the fourth and final coin, the one that sold for $3 million and is still being pulled from circulation every single year by people who had no idea what they were holding. This is the one you have the very best chance of finding right now.
Now holding the grand finale, the coin that keeps delivering brand new millionaires every single year, the one that sold for a verified $3 million in 2025, and the one that gives literally every single viewer of this video the highest realistic chance of finding it tomorrow morning. This is a completely ordinary-looking 1988 Lincoln Memorial cent that has been sitting in cash registers, rolling through vending machines, and living in pockets for the last 37 years. Except the reverse side is straight out of 1989. It is using the brand new, never released to the public 1989 reverse die that was locked away and guarded like nuclear launch codes. The Mint swore on everything holy that this combination could never happen. Collectors call it the time machine penny. And yes, brand new discoveries are still exploding across social media in 2025. Let's teleport back to the freezing cold nights of December 1988 inside the Philadelphia Mint. After 30 years of the exact same Lincoln Memorial reverse, Chief Engraver Frank Gasparello finally gets permission to execute his long-planned refresh for the 1989 coinage year. He personally redraws the entire reverse master hub. He enlarges the seated Lincoln statue by several percent so it dominates the center. He deepens and sharpens every one of the 12 steps leading up to the memorial. He adds microscopic detail to the 24 columns, and most importantly, he moves his own FG initials from their nearly invisible hiding spot under the right base of the memorial to a bold, proud, impossible-to-miss position in the lower right corner where they scream, "I made this." All 1988 dies are supposed to keep the old, small, shy design. All 1989 dies get the new, confident, in-your-face version.
The dies are engraved months in advance, hardened, chromed, serial numbered, and stored in two completely separate locked color-coded vaults labeled 1988 only and 1989 only. Armed guards patrolled the die vault. Mixing the two is considered a firing offense on the spot. But December 1988 is absolute mayhem. Production quotas are insane. Workers are pulling 16-hour shifts. Presses are being torn down and rebuilt daily to prepare for the new year. One graveyard shift die setter, exhausted, running on Red Bull and no sleep, is handed a work order that says, "Replace worn 1988 reverse die on press 47. He walks into the vault, grabs what he thinks is another 1988 reverse die from the correctly labeled rack. Except in the dim light and rush, he accidentally pulls a gleaming, freshly chromed 1989 reverse die instead. He carries it to the floor, locks it into place opposite a perfect 1988 obverse die that still has months of life left, tightens the collar, hits the test button, and walks away. No second person double checks, no supervisor signs off. The press operator comes back from break, sees the green light, and slams the start button. For an unknown amount of time, experts argue anywhere from 4 hours to 4 full days. That single press runs at 750 strikes per minute, pumping out thousands upon thousands of 1988 dated Lincoln cents with the forbidden 1989 reverse design. The coins are absolute perfection. Screaming original red color, full booming strikes, cartwheeling luster that blinds you under light, perfect centering, razor-sharp details. To the naked eye, they look 100% normal until you flip them over and see a reverse that officially does not exist until next year. The discovery happens weeks later when a sharp-eyed quality control inspector is doing random bag sampling. He flips over a handful of 1988 cents and his heart stops. The Lincoln statue is too tall, the FG initials are massive and in the wrong place. Alarms go off, emergency meetings are called at the highest levels, the press is shut down immediately. Every single bag struck during that entire period is ordered recalled. Workers are threatened with federal prison if even one coin escapes. But it's too late. Most of the bags are already sealed, shipped to Federal Reserve banks in armored trucks, and dumped into circulation across all 50 states. For the next 37 years, these time machine pennies vanish into the wild. They get spent on pizza and movie tickets. They end up in children's birthday cards. They ride in pockets next to the newest iPhones. They sit in take-a-penny trays at every 7-Eleven from coast to coast. They go through Coinstar machines, parking meters, laundromats, toll booths, and cash registers. Most are never noticed because the difference is subtle to the untrained eye. But once you know the secret, it's like a flashing neon sign that screams $3 million. As of today, December 2025, only 11 genuine 1988-1989 transitional cents have ever been certified by PCGS and NGC combined. 11 coins on planet Earth. Some experts estimate the original run could have been 10,000 to 100,000 pieces, meaning hundreds or thousands are still out there right now, still circulating, still waiting in fresh bankrolls, cash drawers, and your couch cushions for the person who watched this video and learned the secret. The absolute finest known example, a beyond perfect PCGS MS69 red with flawless liquid red surfaces, strike details so sharp it looks 3D, and eye appeal that makes grown collectors cry, sold at public auction in March 2025 for a final hammer price of $3 million. The entire room lost their minds. The winning bidder was a 28-year-old crypto millionaire who live-streamed the moment to 1.2 million viewers. That single sale turned every remaining 1988-1989 transitional cent into instant seven-figure treasure and created more millionaires in one night than any other coin in history. Side-by-side comparison under good light is all you need. Normal 1988 reverse is small Lincoln statue, tiny FG initials hidden under the base. The $1 million version is tall, proud Lincoln statue that dominates the memorial, 12 razor-sharp steps, and massive FG initials sitting boldly in the lower right corner like they own the place. Under 10x magnification, the difference is so dramatic that even a 10-year-old can spot it in 1 second. It is the single most obvious, most exciting, and most huntable transitional error in the entire Lincoln cent series. Authentication is the easiest of all 4 coins in this video. No scale, no ring test, no x-ray, no magnet. Just flip the coin over. Tall Lincoln plus big FG in the lower right corner is instant $3 million jackpot. One submission to PCGS or NGC, and the plastic slab turns a 1-cent coin into life-changing generational wealth. These are literally the easiest million-dollar pennies on earth to identify once you know the secret. And here's why this final coin is the one that should have you raiding every cash register, bankroll, and piggy bank starting tonight. These $3 million time machine pennies are still being discovered multiple times every single year, sometimes 5, 6, 7 times a year, by completely ordinary people who learned this exact secret from videos just like this one. A 14-year-old in Ohio found one in a fresh bankroll in January 2025. A Texas grandmother discovered one in her late husband's old jar in April. A Florida gas station clerk pulled one from the till in July. A California high school kid found one in the school vending machine return slot in October. A New York bodega owner discovered one in November 2025 and almost spent it on coffee. These are modern 1988 pennies still circulating everywhere, still waiting for you. So here we are, the end of the most explosive, most valuable, most life-changing penny video ever uploaded to the internet. You now know the complete, uncensored stories behind the 4 U.S. pennies that sold for $10 million, $8 million, $5 million, and $3 million. You know the exact years, the exact mistakes, the exact tests, and the exact secrets the Mint tried to bury forever. One of these 4 coins could be in your pocket right now. One of them could be in the next roll you pick up at the bank tomorrow. One of them could turn you into a millionaire before breakfast. Start checking every single penny that crosses your path from this second forward. Look for the glowing silver 1942, the heavy ringing 1981, the heavy ringing 1983, and especially every single 1988 with the tall Lincoln statue and huge FG initials on the back. Your entire future could change with 1 single cent. If this video just detonated your brain, do these 5 things right now. Smash that like button until it breaks. Subscribe and slam the bell so you never miss the next treasure drop. Share this video with every human you know. Drop a comment below telling me which of these 4 coins you're hunting first and where you're starting your search tomorrow. I read and reply to every single one. Turn on post notifications because the next video might be the one that shows your discovery. Thank you from the deepest part of my soul for watching till the very end. Now get out there, start hunting like your life depends on it because it just might, and I'll see you in the next one, maybe with you holding the next $1 million penny. Keep those eyes peeled, keep hunting, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace out, legends.